Listen, guys, whatever you do, whatever happens, don't get shaken out, okay? Don't let yourself get spooked. We're looking at uranium first. This was a pretty big flush down, but Sprott is now trading at a massive discount to its asset value. It's a buy. Don't hesitate. It's going to be okay. United States government is talking about sanctioning all Russian uranium here very soon, probably this week. Very bullish for the price of uranium, very bad for the state of the world. But hey, we're here to make money, and that's the trend, and the trend's your friend, so buy uranium. Don't get scared. This is a flush out, all right? And part of the reason why this is happening, you'll notice this is happening, by the way, across the board in all commodities. We're talking gold, oil, silver, nickel, agriculture, everything. It's all selling like this. Look, it's a very volatile sell-off just to flush everything out. It's resetting all the technical indicators, and it's just going to turn right around and go right back up, all right? Don't doubt me on this. Now, this is an opportunity, and understand it as such. And before you freak out and get scared, just kind of zoom out and look where you are. Right? You're still in a clear uptrend. Nothing's changed. It's a big one-day sell-off. Of course, it's day 3 of a multi-day sell-off. That's okay. The cheaper it gets, right, then the more you can buy, the more you can add for the next run up. So understand it from a zoomed out big picture perspective that this is all good. Me personally, I can't wait to add to more energy fuels. If we can come anywhere below $8, I mean, under 7 would be just amazing. I'm buying hard. Even Global Atomic, I love it. And so if we get an opportunity to get in here, it's exactly what I'm doing. I'm doing it with, by the way, our rotated funds out of Centrus Energy. I sold up here, I think at $44, $43, because their earnings call was horrific. They pretty much admitted that they can't function without Russia and all of the Russian enriched uranium. That's their core product that they start with, right, to make HALEU. And yeah, they've got a little bit of supply locked up for the short term, but unless some kind of miracle happens, which isn't, then they're not going to have any product to stay in business. I mean, we're talking about 2/3 of their business model just being wiped out immediately. So this is very bearish, at least for the short to medium term for this company. I'll start looking to buy again down here. I mean, see what kind of news comes out, see what changes about the fundamentals. But right now, that's my first target, is $20. Okay, and if we ban enriched uranium this week or anytime in the near future, I mean, this company's going to roll over big time. So I have gotten out of this for now. It is a strong sell. Lightbridge is still fine. You can see it's kind of bumping up on the upper resistance. That's okay. Nothing's really changed about Lightbridge. If you're looking for a Centrus Energy alternative, there is the Australian company. This is 49% owned by Cameco. It's a joint venture. This is a laser-based enrichment process. It's a direct competitor to Centrus Energy to make HALEU. They are tentatively going to compete for the contract with the Department of Energy. This is a speculation buy. If Centrus Energy were to continue rolling over, then this is going to continue to get more and more attractive. I almost put in a position today, but I didn't. I want to see kind of how it goes. I don't necessarily like the chart much. I'm having trouble finding a good pattern for it, but I want to watch it. It's not too late. If this ends up being the company, then there's plenty of time to get in, but it's on the radar for sure. This is Silex Systems. But my next entries for sure into adding to my uranium positions will be into energy fuels and to Global Atomic. It's the same thing with gold too, like we talked about. It's just commodities across the board are flushing down. We even talked about this happening. In my last video, I said, look, we'll probably get one more flush down. And that's exactly what happened. This stuff is not that hard. You just have to know that it's coming and just be ready for it, because this, again, is going to be another buying opportunity, because guess what it's going to do after it comes down here into a strong level like this 50, okay, or something here, like 1920, this level. It's going to turn around and go up, okay? This pattern is massive, guys. This is a massive setup, the beginning of a breakout to a huge move, close to $3,000. You understand the Federal Reserve is set to raise rates this week. And historically, gold has always set up for its major bull runs with the onset of tightening cycles. And that's exactly what we're getting right now, which happens this week. And also what always happens in gold, in addition to that, is just before the rate hike, you get a flush down. So this was an easy call. We know what it's going to do. You don't know where exactly it's going to stop. I would guess it's going to be at the 50 at the lowest. But even still, the equities are all dirt cheap right now. Even in silver too. I mean, look what you're doing. You're coming up, and you're going to come back and retest this breakout. Right? It did it on the daily. Now it's going to do it on the weekly. We're going to kind of roll over, and we're going to go up. That's what we're going to do. So have faith. These are the anticipated buying opportunities that we talked about. Nothing is wrong here. Everything's good. Just use this as an opportunity. All right, because there were some great companies. We talked about Newmont maybe coming back and touching the $70. That would be very fortunate for you if you got an opportunity to buy this here, if you didn't down here. All right, these are good things. So zoom out and look where it's going and just use these opportunities that life gives you and don't pass them up. Just one more gold chart, okay? Just look. GDXJ. We broke out of the downward channel, okay? And we're going to come back, we're going to retest. That's all we're going to do. We're going to retest. It couldn't be more healthy. It couldn't be more of a good thing. Just have faith, baby. Just have faith. It's going up. That's all you have to do is just know that gold is going up. And with it, I mean, a rising tide lifts all boats. So get into all these gold equities, guys. Gold, silver, I mean, it's just too good to miss out on. So again, even in agriculture, potash, IPI, had a big sell-off again today here as well, but on lower declining volume. I think this is probably set to go higher also. I mean, more sanctions on Russia means higher fertilizer prices, means higher gas prices, means higher potash prices, okay? This is just going to go up. Same thing with Nutrien. Looks like it's trying to consolidate for another leg up, most likely. You know, LXU, I mean, this stuff is all essentially the same. These are all good companies. If you can find a good sell-off day, a good retest of a level like a 50 or vertical like this, or excuse me, horizontal, then that's great. You should jump in and take advantage because there are no signs that anything's going to get better out there. And speaking of nothing getting better, remember we talked about steel, right? When it came up, we talked about it rolling over, bouncing on the trend, and then setting the next leg higher, right? We talked about this, and that's what it did. Now, here's where we are. In addition to potentially applying brand new sanctions to Russia in relation to uranium and enriched uranium and cutting them off from international trade waters, okay, we're also talking about banning their nickel. They're one of the largest nickel producers in the world. They have one of the biggest, most pure nickel mines in the world. And we're going to cut them off. And so this is going to skyrocket nickel prices. And nickel is a primary component in the production of steel. So what do you think is going to happen to steel prices? Just saying. All right, so come back at quick recap on Liberty Gold. Bought at 82 cents, or added at 82 cents rather. We got the false breakout. We're coming back down on the sell-off, on the flush down in gold itself. That's okay. We talked about this one too, because 68 cents is a very, 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 very strong add level. Maybe the last one we get. I'm still very bullish on this one. I'm going to take any opportunity the market gives me to add to my position. Looky, what do we have here? The Nasdaq? It's still falling? Who could believe it? Oh, yeah, we knew that would happen, and we knew where it's going. It's going to 12,000, just like we said it would. Right? That's the first real test of any kind of support. You break that, it's game over. You're coming down, baby. You're talking at worst, you're going to at least test this February 2020 level, 9,800. Call it 10,000, right? That's that nice round psychological number. Or you'd probably hit this trend line too, bare minimum. It kind of depends on time as well. But I would look to hold this trend line for sure. Ooh, you break this trend line, you're going to have to start looking at some other stuff. All right, but this chart looks awful. Again, just like we've talked about over and over and over again, there is zero reason for the broad markets, for the indices to turn around and go higher, right, with interest rates going up. It's just not going to happen. So until the Fed comes out and says they're going to start printing more money, the markets are going lower, all right? Assets are simply going to go lower. It's just math. It's just what it's going to happen. It's where we are. It's the reality of the situation. So you got to get that through your head. I mean, look at the 10-year. Look at what the 10-year is doing. It's breaking out. Okay? You understand? The bond markets in the process are rolling over too. Okay, so we'll see what it does when we get up to this trend, but I have a feeling by the time we get there, that's when the Fed's going to start rolling over. And then maybe if you're into Bitcoin and other things like that, tech stocks, maybe you can look into getting back in then. But until that happens, these things are simply on their way down. They're just doing it slowly, right? Because everybody's kind of waiting on the same thing, which is cheap money. And if the Fed doesn't supply that cheap money, then they're going to crash. Another potential swing trade, if not an investment entry, would be the Chinese markets crashing very, very hard. First entry spot is right here at $39. It's worth at least a buy for the swing trade. It'll be oversold because if it's not a dead cat bounce, it'll be a great entry for an investment. So let's look at that and see what the world looks like by the time we get down here. But I am definitely eyeballing this one as something I'm very interested in, and we'll see how it shakes out.